Hello there and welcome to Yoga with Andrea. So taking a comfortable seat, however that looks for you. I like to sit with the legs crossed. Bring the palms a touch in front of the heart, bow the head. Sinking the hip bones down, heavy through the mat. Rest palms up to receive, palms down to relax. Switching the cross of the shins and setting up for double pigeon. So you can do this with one shin in front of the other, or you can bring the right ankle above the left knee or just behind the left knee and place a brick between the right knee and the left ankle. Draw the toes back, heavy through the sitting bones, nice long spine. Inhale, reach the heart forward. Exhale, folding, opening up the hips into double pigeon. Hold and breathe, pressing lightly through the fingertips. Toes drawn back to protect the knee joints. Inhale, slowly come up, switch the cross of the legs. And again, you don't need to place the brick between the knees and the ankle, but I find this comfortable and supportive. So switching this time, so left ankle behind the right knee, toes drawn back. Left knee above right ankle. Brick placed between the knee and inhale. Heart open, exhale, fold. Hold and breathe, shoulders rounding down away from the ears. Inhale is up. And then as you're ready, slowly making your way onto all fours. Come into a neutral spine, placing a blanket beneath the knees for some additional cushioning and support for the knees. Keep the knees hip width apart. Tuck the toes, and as you're ready, sink the hips towards the heels, tucking the tailbone towards the backs of the knees, draw the navel in towards the spine, shoulders releasing away from the ears, and stacking right elbow on top of left, and reach the palms to touch. You can just hug the shoulders. As you inhale, lift the elbows. As you exhale, round the shoulder blades down towards the middle back, or reach around, palms to touch. Keep the neck nice and long, perhaps tilting the chin upwards ever so slightly as you reach the elbows up. Exhale, plant the palms, pressing evenly through all of the fingertips, releasing the toes, making some circles on the ankles in one direction, then the other. And then as you're ready, replacing the toes, coming back, hips towards heels. If this is too strong for the feet, you can come onto the tops of the feet and just sink the hips onto the soles of the feet. Switching the elbows this time, stacking the left elbow on top of right. Tuck the toes if you'd prefer, for a nice stretch across the soles of the feet. Inhale, lift the head and chest. Lengthening through the back of the neck, lifting the elbows ever so slightly, reaching them away from the body. Tucking tailbone towards the backs of the knees, drawing navel in. Nice and long through the sides. Then exhale, release the toes, give them a little wiggle back and forth, make some circles in one direction, then the other on the ankles. And then as you're ready, shuffling back onto your blanket, bringing the knees together and coming into an extended child's pose, walking the fingertips away, lengthening through hips towards heels, and then softly rolling the head from one direction to the other. And then walking the right palm off towards the right hand side of the mat, off the side, and bring the left palm on top of the right, and then sink the forehead between the forearms to come into a nice side stretch. Inhale is up, walk the fingertips back through center, walk them off to the left hand side. Hips are heavy and sinking towards the heels, rest the forehead between the forearms, sink the forearms through the earth. And resting. Inhale has come up, walk the fingertips back through center. And then bringing the hips high, so hips over the knees this time, coming into heart melting pose. So walk the fingertips away, press through each of the finger pads, then lift the palms. sinking the heart and the chest bone towards the floor, resting the forehead nice and long through the back of the neck, keeping the tailbone reaching high, stretching across the shoulders, and again rolling the forehead from side to side to massage the brow, and softly awakening the neck. Heart is heavy and sinking, tailbone light and lifting. Inhale as come up. And then bringing the shoulders through the gates of the arms, hug the elbows in towards the midline. And interlacing the fingertips behind the body, feet as wide as the mat, press through the floor, tuck the tailbone towards the backs of the knees. And as you inhale, draw the pelvic floor up and in gently, and lift the head and chest, keeping the back of the neck nice and long. Using the arms as a lever, reaching the fingertips away, opening across the front of the body. Exhale, releasing, bringing the right ear to the floor. Allowing the lower body to go soft. And then again, setting up for a second back bend. So walk the feet as wide as the mat, tuck the tailbone towards the heels. Interlace the fingertips behind the lower back. Inhale, draw the pelvic floor up and in, lift the head and chest. Feeling those lower back muscles switching on, supporting the lower spine. And as you're ready, exhale, releasing the left ear to the floor. Allowing the body to go soft. Inhale is up, set up for a brief sphinx with the elbows below the shoulders, then walk the palms towards the body. Come into a brief up dog before pressing through the fingertips, lifting the tailbone high, walking the feet in about hip width apart, arms and ears in line, drawing navel towards spine into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Inhale, lift the right heel straight up, keeping the hips level, parallel with the floor. Try to avoid opening the hip at all. Then as you exhale, carefully stepping that right foot between the palms of the hands, perhaps rolling up the blanket beneath the left knee for additional support here. Bring the right knee above the right ankle, spread out through the right toes. Inhale, sweep the arms up, sinking the hip bones down, drawing slowly up through the pelvic floor, interlacing the fingers behind the head and lift the heart. Perhaps drawing the elbows towards the midline, supporting the sacrum with the palms of the hands. Again, keeping that right knee above the right ankle. Start to heel toe the foot out towards the right hand side so the outside edge of the right foot is parallel with the outside edge of the mat. Reaching for your brick, placing both palms through the brick as you sink the hips forward, keeping the shoulders rounded down away from the ears. Coming into a lizard lunge. Perhaps sinking a little bit lower if you can, shifting the brick away, coming onto the forearms, bring the palms to touch. If you'd like to roll out onto the outside of the right foot to get a little bit more deeply into that stretch, please feel free to do so, but keeping the toes in line with the knees, pointing in the same direction to protect the knee joint. Bring the thumb to the center of the forehead and keep the hips level with the floor. Inhale, reach the heart forward, bring the right palm to the inside of the right leg and take it into an open twist, so reaching the left fingertips up towards the sky. Perhaps reaching around with the left arm, hooking the right hip. Exhale, unwind. And then slowly heel toeing that right foot back through center, so the right knee is above the right ankle, reaching for the brick, setting up for Ardha Hanumanasana, or half splits. So bring the heart forward, tuck the tailbone towards the backs of the knee, then start to lift the toes of the right foot, bringing left hip forward, right heel, hip back, pressing through the palms, shoulders away from the ears, stretching out the hamstrings on the right leg. Hold and breathe. Exhale, releasing down. Start to heel toe the right foot across the body till the inside of the foot is parallel with the outside of the mat. And then start to sink the hips forwards, bringing the shin parallel with the front of the mat. and the right knee out towards the side. So this can be quite a strong stretch, so you can bring the heel in towards the body for a milder stretch. Or if this is unavailable to you today, come into thread the needle, so bringing the right ankle behind the left knee, point the toes up towards the sky and hug behind the left thigh, drawing the knee in towards the chest, spiraling the right knee away from the body, keeping all the toes active, pointing towards the sky. Otherwise, if you are coming into your sleeping pigeon, with the shin in front of the body, adjusting so the hips are parallel with the floor. Bring the palms to touch, resting on the forearms, perhaps sinking the hips more deeply through the floor, walking the fingertips away, resting the forehead. Inhale to come out, tuck the back toe under, press with the outside of the right foot. Lift the right heel up towards the sky and bring it alongside the left to come into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Tailbone reaching high, navel drawn into the spine, arms and ears in line. Inhale, lift the left heel straight up, keeping the hips level with the mat. And then exhale, stepping the left foot between the palms of the hands, sinking the right knee towards the floor. Checking the left knee is above the left ankle, 90 degrees angle towards the floor, spread out through the toes. Tuck the tailbone under, inhale, sweep the arms, drawing the pelvic floor up and in. Interlacing the fingertips behind the head for a deeper stretch, lifting the chest high. Opening up the chest, nice and long through the neck, supporting the back of the head. Exhale, releasing the palms to the inside of the left foot. Start to heel toe the left foot out towards the side of the mat. Reaching for your brick, bring both palms to touch. Pressing through the brick, reaching the heart forwards. And then slowly sinking the hips forwards, keeping them level with one another. Into a lizard lunge, perhaps lowering onto the forearms for a deeper stretch, but always keeping the toes of the left foot and the knee in line. Perhaps rolling onto the outside edge of the left foot to come in a little bit more deeply into the posture. Palms to press. Rest the forehead on the tips of the thumbs, massaging that point between the brows. Hips heavy and sinking, pressing through the top of the right foot. Inhale, walk the fingertips back, bringing the left knee above the left ankle once more. Reach for the brick, bring it to the inside of the left foot. Press with the left palm, reaching the right fingertips up towards the sky. Or perhaps reaching that right arm around to hook the opposite thigh or hip to open up across the chest. Otherwise, fingertips reaching, exhale, unwinding. And then slowly setting up for Ardha Hanumanasana on this side, so walking the left foot back in. Nice 90-degree angle for the knee here, knee above ankle. Bring the bricks either side of the foot. Walk them towards the body to help to reach the heart forwards. Inhale, reach the chest. Exhale, folding, lifting the toes of the left foot to get into a nice hamstring stretch on this side. Perhaps a little bit more, you can sneak the right foot back a little to get a deeper stretch. Give the toes a little wiggle on the left foot. And then slowly to come out, tuck the back toes under. And then start to heel toe the left foot across the body, bringing the knee towards the mat, the shin parallel with the front of the mat. Keep the hips nice and level, turn towards the mat, heart reaching forward. Exhale, sinking. Palms to touch. Forehead to the tips of the thumbs. Sleeping pigeon. To sink a little bit further into the pose, reach the fingertips away, sinking the chest towards the floor, resting the forehead between the arms. Inhale as come up, walk the palms towards the body, tuck the back toes under, press with the outside edge of the left foot, Bring the left heel up towards the sky, then bring it level with the right foot, walking and pedaling out into downward dog. Bend both knees, tummy towards the bent knees, and exhale, stretch the heels towards the mat, big toes ever so slightly in, feet hip width apart, arms and ears in line, tailbone reaching, navel drawn up and in underneath the rib cage. Exhale, walk or hop towards the front of the mat and come into seating. So setting up now for Upavishta Konasana, or wide-legged forward fold. So perhaps placing the blanket beneath the pelvis to give that pelvis a slight tilt forward, hinging from the hips. Extend the feet out towards the side, toes pointing up towards the sky. Inhale, reach the heart up. Exhale, shoulders rounding down. And then slowly start to walk the fingertips away from the body, keeping the toes nice and active, drawn up towards the sky. And again, you can rest your forehead on the tips of the thumbs as you bring the palms to touch in front of the head. Perhaps you can hook the index and the middle finger around the big toes. Reach the heart forward and exhale, folding from the hips, bringing the forehead towards the floor. But it never matters how deeply you come into the pose, only that you feel the stretch through the legs. You may be sitting completely upright as long as you feel the stretch. Inhale as come up, walk the fingertips back towards the body. Toes nice and active. Coming all the way up, reaching for your strap now. So setting up the strap into a loop shape. So taking the tail end and threading it through both of the D-rings and then back through one to form a loop. Then slowly bring the feet alongside one another, setting up in Dandasana or staff pose. Extend the legs out in front. And then bringing the strap around the balls of the feet. And then sneak the thumbs, hooking the strap between the fingers and the thumbs. Keeping the armpits drawn in, shoulders resting down, chest reaching forwards. Nice, long, straight spine. Inhale, lifting. Exhale. Start to walk the fingertips down the strap. Slowly bringing the weight forwards. Keeping the toes active, pointing up towards the sky. And stretching the backs of the knees towards the floor. Keeping that nice, straight back. Heart leading. Neck nice and long. Armpits drawn in. Perhaps you're able to hook the big toes with the index and middle fingers of both the hands. Inhale, reach the heart. Exhale, fold, perhaps rounding the spine gently here. Hold and breathe. Paschimottanasana. And then setting up now for a nice counter pose. Walk the fingertips behind the body, pointing towards the hips. Lift the chest, rolling the armpits towards center, then press through the feet to lift the hip bones up towards the sky. For a modification, walk the heels towards the body and come into a table. Otherwise, press out through the feet, extending the legs in front of you, bringing the hip points high, neck nice and long, wrists below the shoulders. Then slowly exhale, releasing. Slowly from Dandasana or staff pose, use the stomach muscles to bring the body to the floor. Walk the heels in, hips width apart, setting up for bridge. So palms either side of the body, face down. Press for the soles of the feet, tuck the tailbone towards the backs of the knees and bring the hip points up towards the sky, keeping the chin away from the chest. Keeping the knees nice and parallel. For a little bit more, you can walk the fingertips underneath the lower back, interlacing the fingers and drawing them down away from the shoulders to lift and open the chest a little bit further, a little bit more deeply. Exhale, releasing, upper, mid, low back towards the floor. Rest the palms at the navel and allow the knees to rest against one another. Taking a second bridge or coming into full wheel. So walking the palms alongside the ears, elbows facing up, pressing through the soles of the feet and the palms of the hand, coming onto the crown of the head before pressing through the feet and lifting the hip points up towards the sky, reaching the chest forward. Hold. To come out, exhale, tuck the chin, and then slowly lower, upper mid to lower back towards the floor. From here, draw the knees in towards the chest and taking it into a supine twist, allowing the knees to drop towards the right hand side of the mat, arms at shoulders height, palms reaching away from the body, palms up or down. Using the tummy muscles to draw the knees back through center on the exhale, bring the palms face down as you allow the knees to come across the body towards the left hand side, looking out over the right shoulder. Palms face up. For a little bit more, you can hook the right foot behind the left calf muscle to come a little bit more deeply into the stretch. Exhale, draw the tummy muscles in to lift the knees back through center, hug the knees in towards the chest. Then coming into happy baby, drawing the outside edges of the feet into the hands, drawing the knees towards the armpits and perhaps stepping the feet out into the hands one side at a time, allowing the hips to roll gently from one side to the other. And giving the lower back a nice massage, then drawing the knees back towards the armpits. And then slowly releasing the soles of the feet back towards the floor, perhaps bringing the feet as wide as the mat, allowing the knees to rest against one another for a final rest, or extending the feet away, untucking the flesh from underneath the sit bones so the back is flush with the mat. Allow the toes to flop open towards the side. Walk the arms equidistant from the body, palms facing up. Chin ever so slightly tucked in towards the chest to get long through the back of the neck. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, relaxing, releasing into your Shavasana or final resting pose. Soften and close the eyes. And then as you're ready, begin to make some small movements of the wrists and ankles, making circles in one direction, then the other. Then as you're ready, inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale, draw the knees in towards the chest, rolling off to the right hand side, keeping the heart lifted. Pause for a moment before pressing through the earth to come back to a comfortable seat facing this way. Palms to touch in front of the heart, bow the head to seal in the benefits of your practice. Thank you so much for practicing yoga with me today. Namaste.